Maybe the sun will shine today. The clouds will blow away.
So, what do you think about the future side?
I like it. There's a lot of abilities that I think could have been spread out among other sets.
Do you think there's too many keywords going on?
Well, I think some of the keywords could have been more intuitive, especially Shroud. Because I mean, they're changing it from can't be targeted spells or abilities and making it Shroud. Well, changing that to untargetable is more intuitive.
Kind of makes sense, don't it?
Yeah, it's a little longer than Shroud, but it makes more sense.
I'm not in love with the modern world.
Pretty good. It's fun.
You dig it?
Yeah, I dig it. It's not that strong. Not as strong as Planar Chaos, but it's fun though. Red green's like really good.
We're talking about red, green, and limited?
Yeah, and limited.
Okay.
Like in constructed, probably the best color is white, maybe white or red.
What do you think of future side?
It's alright.
You like it?
I like Time Spiral better.
I think it's a very good limited set, but constructive-wise, it's not very good at all.
Why?
It just doesn't have any constructive-worthy cards compared to Planar Chaos and Time Spiral. Time Spiral had way too many good cards for this block.
Comparatively?
Yeah.
So there's just nothing that really catches your eye?
Not at all. Like, it's just cards that might help decks, but just won't do anything with the 10th edition. 10th edition, when it comes out, is going to change the format, so bye-bye, Tron.
Future Sight seems alright. I don't know how much of an impact it's going to have on Type 2.
You don't think it's going to have much?
Not much. Like, I really haven't seen anything that's like really worth playing in Type 2. As far as limited goes, it's real fun. I like that. But as for other subjects, such as, you know, bad beats in the last round of states against the person holding this camera. Bad beats. Alright. Yes, I was the one playing the dream match that he got. Zoo, that was me.
What do you think about future side, buddy?
I think it's balls.
I like this card in draft.
What is it?
Spin into Myth.
Okay.
It let me keep my opponent land screwed last round.
Wow. Fate seal, huh?
Yes.
Keeping people land screwed.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
He had 3 red, bounced my own guy, put 2 swamps on the bottom.
Hi, hello, my name is Stanley Muzinski. I traded 4 Damnations, 4 Extirpates, a Bloodstained Mire, a Windspread Heap, a Portal Wrath of God, and 2 Lotus Blooms for a Black Lotus.
Oh my god, where's the Black Lotus?
It is, Garrison is wearing it on his head.
Get his ass over here, we gotta see it. Oh,
This is it, baby.
Oh, that's 100% real, ladies and gentlemen. Bring it here, bring it close. That is real stuff. Not bad. That's an unlimited Black Lotus. So this Black Lotus was 100% trade.
$20 cash.
$20 cash and the cards he mentioned earlier. Extirpates and a Portal Wrath of God and whatever.
It was like $180 in trade. Maybe $180 in trade. You thought the Lotus was all?
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen.
We're selling all this for $10,000 cash. Cash money. Come up and get it right now.
So like on the end over here, it's just like this random Chaos Orb.
Yeah, it was $14.99.
$14.99 for a Chaos Orb.
We traded a Side Blast for it.
The emerald is gorgeous. Can you take it out?
Yes. The back's even better, guys.
Spotless.
That emerald is just gorgeous. And so what happened with the Moxen? Tell me the Moxen story. This was just after the Lotus?
Yeah, he paid $300 cash for these right after the, like about 45 minutes after he got the Lotus.
$300 cash for the emerald and the pearl.
Yeah.
That's what happened?
Yes.
Wow. And so, all right, so with the ruby and the Chaos Orb, was that a different?
This was like 4 Extirpates and 5 pain lands and nothing else.
4 Extirpates,
5 pain lands.
5 pain lands from 9th edition?
Yes, from 9th edition.
I mean, it's ratty. I mean, but it's still worth.
It's still worth 4
It's still worth 4 Extirpates easy.
Oh, it's a
It's a
Mox.
It's like $250, right?
Probably just a Ruby.
It's worth some cash. If you would introduce yourself.
I'm Jane Davis.
Hi, Jane.
Hi.
So, and you run a card store, is that right?
Yes, I do.
Where
in Woodbury, Tennessee. A little out of the way place that people love to come to, and I love for them to come. That's it.
So, can you tell me the story of like how you got the store, why you started the store, sort of thing?
I started the store because I had about 40 boxes of comics, and my husband gave me 3 choices: build a new house, start a card store, or divorce him. It was a toss-up between 2 and 3. I wound up doing 3.
Right.
And I had it open for a couple of years and only did moderately well. And everybody kept saying, you need to get into cards. And I was kind of adamantly against it because I wanted to teach people to read. I wanted them to use their imagination, and quit playing in front of a TV set and a PSP. And then one day, somebody came in and said, I have a bunch of cards to sell. Do you have cards? And I said, no. And I started looking at them. And the very first one I saw grabbed my attention. And so I started dealing in cards. And the card's name was Eternal Witness. Mm-hmm. She's a green.
So Eternal Witness got you into magic,
Got me into magic in the biggest way possible.
Wow.
And now I play. I don't play well, but I'm learning. And this is my first tournament.
And so your business is doing better now
Yes.
because of the influx.
Oh, because of the magic. I mean, there's just no way it would be at the height that it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people who read, don't get me wrong, the comic books are, as much as I hate to say it, almost passé now. Today was awesome. For the first time, I built my own deck.
Very nice.
And I won my first round on my own.
Very good.
Nobody standing behind me.
Nice.
And it was kind of neat. And then I lost the second one, but I learned so much.
Excited about Future Sight? Have you been keeping up with?
Yes. And
coming
I
out
have. I can honestly say I'm not as, and it may be because I'm kind of all new to this, and I really haven't had a chance to sit down, but there are some really good cards, but not as many as I thought. And now I've got to really look at more of them. And spend a little more time.
In terms of Future Sight, you were saying something about its complexity. It's got a lot of keywords.
Yes.
Your thoughts on the number of keywords that sort of are everywhere, but the actual sort of shrinking of these different mechanics like Shroud, you can't target.
They're complicated to me.
Okay.
Will they ever be less complicated? I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't make that determination. I just know that right now they're a little complicated, and they're complicated for any beginner.
Because
they are. There's
just a lot going on.
There's too much going on in one. I have a computer at the store, so when I first started learning, there were so many things, and I had to print them out, and then sit in bed and study them. And I'm going, I'd rather be reading a good book than I would, trying to learn the mechanics, because the mechanics were very difficult, very convoluted.
Right.
Okay. Now they're not quite as much so.
Well, Jane, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm Donnie Nolan, Next Level Games, new premier tournament organizer, first event. So I've done PTQs previously for about a year and a half. This is the first Prerelease.
So what do you think the attendance is today?
We had 88 for our main flight. We had 3 regular flights of 32 each. We have 3 two-headed giant flights. I think we had probably 220 unique players, and we're sitting close to 300 total entrants.
Wow.
The guys that are doing it for the players, you can kind of, they stand out. The Jeff Williams, the Mike Guptils, the Pete Halflings, those guys, they want players to have fun at the event, and not just because we're going to make more money that way, just because it helps grow games, And one thing that we do as a store is we promote other stores in the area. I talk to, like whenever we had a dealer table there, I called every dealer in Nashville and I was like, all right guys, I have a dealer table up, do you want it? And most of them didn't want to do it, or they weren't comfortable doing it, but a lot of them were like, yeah, sorry, it's just a bad weekend,
Sure.
But we want those guys to do well too, because we understand the more people that are playing games, the bigger our big events are going to be.
Right.
Sure, my Saturday tournament's not going to grow anymore, or I might get 2 people out of it, But if all the stores increase, 20%, then our big events increase a huge amount because of just the trickle down effect.
Absolutely. But you've seen customers sort of have that transition of, be a Yu-Gi-Oh player for a while and then do something and then Magic.
That's the key. If you can get them to stay in games from 12 to 16, most of the time they're going to pick up Magic at 16. That's the game at 16. But if you go into it a little bit before, maybe 14, some kids can survive there, but those kids are the real competitive players.
Yeah.
There's lots of kids that try to make that transition. Magic's just too much of a complicated game, and it's not that it's really skill involved complication. It's just a big gap from Yu-Gi-Oh as far as a resource-based game versus a non-resource-based game. And we've got some really great players. Some Tillman Bragg, Doug Tice. Those guys are great for gaming. Period. Whether it's Versus or Magic or whatever. They create a positive influence for the store. So they're good for all games. You get a kid that comes in that plays Yu-Gi-Oh that looks over and sees Doug Tice doing well at Versus, and he may play that game. But he also sees Doug play Magic, and he's like, well, what's that game too? So he's great on the store.
So and has Versus, and I'll try to put this politely, has Versus kind of
died?
Yeah.
For a lot of stores, it has. I don't know that it died for us. I know a lot of stores, and talking to a lot of stores in Tennessee, some guys are just like, yeah, that's dead, or yeah, that's dead. But I don't know that they really gave it another shot after they did that. But that's the same way with Magic. When Magic came out and Saviors came out, man, I don't know how many stores I talked to. They're like, yeah, Magic's dead. Yeah, it's done. Completely off the market. Champions was awful. Betrayers wasn't much better. Saviors was the nail in the coffin. Then we got Cold Snap. Oh, yeah, that thing's really done.
Oh,
So, but then Ravnica comes along, and all of a sudden everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is the best game on the planet, and it's the top seller again. So I think every game goes in cycles. We had people coming in all the time going, why are they reprinting Sonic Blast? What's that all about? And you're like, oh, so you tell them about it, and they're like, man, I'm playing this game again. I can't even get my Psy Blast back, So, yeah, that brought a lot of people back in. I don't know that Arrogant, the Reckless Worm brought people in, but Psy Blast, Disintegrate, So I think it brought a lot of people that haven't been in the game for a long, long time. Guys that haven't been in since Odyssey or, 2 or 3 years old, 3 years out of the game, they're not that big of a difference maker. But you get the guys in that haven't played since like '96 and Saga, and you're getting somebody back.
Can you tell me about the new sealed format where you can change your deck? Because I never heard a thing about this before.
That came down the pipe recently. I got an email, and I look at the email, and I was like, man, this can't be right. There's got to be something wrong here. I'm missing something. So I make some phone calls, and they're like, no. And the more I look at it, the more it's a great idea. Because now registration's real easy. Just register what you got. Once you pass it, verify it, and you're done. It does a couple of things. It teaches new players how to build better decks, which is really hard to do. But if you've got a new player, and me and you were sitting in a pre-release, and they're like, you should have done this. It's really hard for that player to not do that. Because if he thinks you're a good player, and he's trying to learn, he wants to do it right there and see if it works. He doesn't want to carry it home because he's probably not going to play Bob at home, and even if he does, is it going to be the same? So he wants to test that theory out and see, hey, is Evan really that good? Does he know what he's talking about? So that's a good chance for them to do that and not be penalized for it, because the last thing you want to do, especially at an event like this, is come in and have to penalize some kid. You don't want to penalize kids for trying new things and trying to learn. It becomes a little bit harder on me now as an event organizer, because I have to clearly communicate it with it, and then at my next event, which is not a pre-release, I have to really make sure that those kids that are transitioning understand that you can't do it anymore.
Well, thanks a lot, Donnie.
No problem.
All right. So you won the main event. 88 people, man. Congratulations. Very nice. So can you tell me what you played? Can you sort of show me some of the cards, like and face this way?
Sure.
Face the cards this way.
I ended up with a red-white deck, and it was real solid actually.
Well, it seems real solid. It went 8-0, right, or 7-0?
7-0, yeah.
7-0, had to be. So you got the Hellbent land here. That seems good.
Yeah, that was pretty solid throughout the day. Even though I was having a lot of funny draws where I draw lands after I drew that every time.
Oh, no.
Could never get the Hellbent, but I got it one time to actually kill one person with her, 1 life.
Wow.
Which was pretty funny, but basically the deck just ended up being a.
So we got Spirit Endow, Davenant Healer, Whipspine Drake, and foil. Obviously you got Big Stokes up in here.
Yeah.
Judge Unworthy, I'm sure, was a big MVP today.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I had 2 Wrath of God effects, which is pretty huge in sealed deck, obviously.
Oh wow.
I had the Desolation Giant and the Selfish Blast. So.
Oh my gosh, that seems pretty good.
Yeah, that helps you get to the old. That'll help you get 8 or 7 right there. You know, I didn't actually only played the Desolation Giant once today, and I didn't even get to kick it.
Oh no.
I just played it as a 3/3 heal giant.
Oh my God, you got Set's Tiger.
Yeah.
You got Hobbs, man.
That guy's awesome.
Oh my God, Hobbs is ridiculous.
Yeah, actually, someone tromped on me onto one game, and I was like, no way. It's one way to deal with Trump, right?
Wow.
So,
that is so impressive.
But this guy's awesome because he can be splashing any deck with white. So.
Right, that's incredible. Yeah, the Whipspine Drake, that's nice.
I didn't have any Rebel Searchers, but he's enchantment. He's pacifism chain.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you don't not play pacifism.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got some burn. You got Ghostfire, and you got Sulphurous Blast. I don't really see anything other than beyond the Hellbent land. Well, we got Fatal Attraction here.
Yeah, not a ton.
But you got a lot of removal. I mean, we're talking like Judge Unworthy, Fatal Attraction, Ghostfire.
2 mass removal spells.
I mean, Desolation Giant, even if you didn't kick it all day, I mean, it's a Desolation Giant.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, there was a couple times where if I was able to cast it, I'd have won with it, or vice versa, anything like that. This ended up being pretty decent throughout the day. The Hellbent land.
Yeah.
Just getting cards out of my hand, trying to turn it on.
Hellbent land versus Kirkheap.
Kirkheap was nice. A lot of people don't like it that much, but I like it because it gives you time. Sometimes, especially when you've got things and effects like this, like the Desolation Giant and the Sulphurous Blast. I mean, sometimes you just need time. They have to try and keep up with your guys. You just play some O1s, chump block for a little while, then wreck the board. The deck, the creature base wasn't amazing by any means, but like.
I mean, we're talking about Acacian Crier.
Some really good ones here. That was my good.
So your MVPs, I mean, Cavalry Master, do you really like that guy?
That was okay. Like, I mean, I'm saying I had like solid guys up here, but like there was no real, like the big guys were like this guy, the Morph guys I had. I mean, these guys all helped me just get to the late game a lot of times.
Right. Wow. Well, you got the Gaten, the Gathan Raiders.
That guy was pretty nice.
Yeah. Plus the Hellbent land seems pretty good.
I was pretty happy with this spell all day too.
Oh, really? Marshalling Cry really came through? The buyback +1/+1?
Yeah, actually, a lot of times you just cycled it to get to a land, and then in the late game, it was just like, 5-6 guys out there, get in there. And
Well, plus you've got the Kirkheap, yeah. Kirkheap with Marshalling.
And the Crier was really nice with it. So, just, I made a lot of tokens and was able to get a lot of +1/+1.
Absolutely. So, in terms of just sort of like basic stuff for the people at home who can't win a sealed deck to save their life, you went with 23 spells, 17 land?
Yep.
Did you change your deck at all? Because I know that was new. You could change it if you wanted to.
Yeah, I didn't actually change the deck one bit. I had only had a couple red, white other cards. I sideboarded one the whole day. I was really happy with my build because I had a really solid blue sideboard actually, but the fact of the matter was like it was really hard to cut out. Like the red was actually the weakest part of my deck. If you really look at it, the white was where all everything was at, well the stock was at. So
right. I mean, we got the Desolation Giant, which basically says you must play white to make like this spell good.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the same thing, like, in essence, like, I could choose to play the mass removal spells, which required red, or I could play the blue cards, and then I'm just kind of like, the blue cards, I mean, I love drawing cards, so blue is, like, my favorite color, obviously, but I'd much rather have a good solid base with Desolation Giant as just a big kick, like, sometimes it just wins you the games by itself.
So it's better sometimes to have consistency in your removal and your creatures than it is to have like the really splashy, fun, hey, I'm drawing lots of cards.
The deck was very good, yeah. The deck had like, we had Ephemeron, and I had Careful Study on the board, and I had several other amazing blue cards, but I felt like having the better base for removal was better for this situation. So.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks for your time.
Yeah, no problem, man.
I got my problem, I got revision is home.